This is an Alienware pre-built PC. It's got cool RGB. Well, B. I guess there's a software you can change it. It's a cool PC. You know, it's cool. I was bored, so I bought it. This costed a lot of money. And in this video, I'm going to tell you whether or not this PC, a Dell Alienware pre-built PC, is a good value. And the answer to that question is fucking no. Of course it's not a good value. This machine, as spec'd, with an i7 8700, 16 gigabytes of DDR4 2666 megahertz, and this GTX 1080 goes for roughly $2,000. That is absurd. Considering, and now, normally this model of PC comes with a GTX 1070 and an 8700 for about $1,600. This model, as spec'd with a 1080, would go for roughly $2,000. More like $2,100 when you factor in sales tax and all that extra stuff. Shipping is free, not that it matters. $2,100, roughly speaking, for this thing. Why do I say that is horrible? Well, because for $2,000, you could get this PC. You know what that PC has in it? That PC has a liquid-cooled i7 9800X, a Vega 64 liquid-cooled edition, RGB fans, 3 terabytes of storage, along with an SSD boot drive, similar to this one, and 64 gigabytes of DDR4, 3000 megahertz, not to mention RGB. Now, back to the RGB of this. Yeah, cool. There's some RGB on the outside. But why do I say that this PC, besides it being a terrible value parts-wise, is also a terrible value in other ways? Well, that comes when you, despite what the manufacturer tells you, you know that you shouldn't do it because it's bad or something. The value proposition, when you open this thing up, just gets worse and worse. Here we go. Boom, side panel off. Guess what? The PC no longer works with the side panel off. Never mind, I was wrong about that. So, if you noticed, if you're smart, those little contact pads or pins, and right there, that little contact on the side panel, if you can't see that, I don't care. I thought that would make it so the PC doesn't work without the side panel, but actually what it is theft prevention. So basically, I've probably just gotten like 50 emails saying that, hey, someone took the side panel off your PC. Which, actually, you know what? Decent feature. I'll give it that. You know, it emails you if someone took the side panel in case someone broke into your house and stole something. What? Who's coming in like, let me open this PC. Let me take the graphics card out. What a stupid fucking feature. Okay. So we're in the PC. Why is this such a terrible value PC? Well, power supply, garbage. I don't know how many watts it is, but here, let's open this thing up. Let's do the old swing out. That it does. Shit. It's actually really hard to swing out. So god damn it. So they have this like cool swing out power supply feature. Wow. So you can see this gray-ass power supply in all of its glory. I think it's like maybe 500 watts if you're lucky. So what do we have inside? Now this graphics card, yeah, it's not what originally came in this PC, thankfully. Like I said, it was originally this GTX 1080, which is actually not what the original specs. Don't forget it's supposed to have a 1070. During, the process, you can pick a better graphics card, 1080, which they charge you, 3 times more than the actual price difference to put in a 1080 instead of a 1070. This stupid retention bracket, who cares? But, what is in here that makes this garbage? Oh, this is my SSD as well. This is my test boot drive. I just wanted to test to make sure the specs were as they said they were. Well, this is the NVMe boot drive that was originally in this PC. A 256 gigabyte NVMe SSD. So, nothing special. This is SK Hynix default, pretty basic ass SSD. Nothing special. It also has a 1 terabyte hard drive. You'd think for over $2,000 you could get better than 1 terabyte of hard drive space. But that's all you get for your games. Oh, you want Warzone? There goes your hard drive. Now, this is why this PC is such a terrible, terrible value. Because not only are you paying maybe double the price for what you could get these parts for, you're also getting parts that literally cannot be used anywhere else but in this PC. Now, the power supply is pretty basic. It has its, 24-pin connector with this weird-ass adapter. It's got this weird, 4-pin... It's got an 8-pin with 4 cables going into it instead of 8. That goes in the board for PCIe power, which usually just the board has. One 4-pin, so one 4-pin EPS for that 8700K. And the motherboard. Oh, the motherboard. Well, this motherboard is not normal. Why do I say that? Well, it only works fully functionally in this case. It has proprietary LED connectors, proprietary front panel connectors that only allows this motherboard to function as a motherboard inside of this case with this power supply. Take any one of those 3 things away, motherboard, case, power supply, this PC is useless as a PC. I could pay CyberPower, iBuyPower, Dave from the local PC shop to put my PC together with actual retail parts, pay less money, and have more upgradability than fucking Jesus could do on this PC. I mean, it looks good and that's it. Oh, one more thing. This is the RAM. These are the RAM chips. They are one-sided, so nothing on the other side. 4 chips, so nothing special. Obviously no ECC or anything, so these are each 1 gig chips. 2666 SK Hynix default ass RAM. This isn't even good. This isn't like good memory. It's so basic. I mean, it works, but they know that you're not supposed to open it because anyone dumb enough to buy a PC from Alienware and is rich enough or stupid enough to waste their money buying this thing, wouldn't care that their RAM looks like garbage and performs like garbage because it's garbage. Oh no, I know it's garbage. This is the cheapest RAM I can find. This is this is G-Skill Fortis, but just pretend it's G-Skill Aegis. It's $50 a kit for G-Skill Aegis. That's DDR4 3000 megahertz. $50 a kit. Drive down to my local Micro Center. I pay $50. This even has thermal stickers on it of some kind. They're stickers, they're probably thermal of some kind, who cares? At least it's got stickers on it that make it look cool. Make my RAM look cool. And it's black substrate or PCB or whatever it's called. I don't know, I don't do computers. This is so much dumb. This is big dumb. Nope, we get 8 gigs of RAM now because this PC sucks. Now, thankfully, it's just a bog standard 8700 with your standard stock ass cooler. But that's really it. So why is this PC such a terrible value? Well, here's the summary. The power supply, case, and motherboard are basically stuck as one unit. They're all basically proprietary. Now, maybe the power supply could be switched out, but I'm not going to take that risk. Neither should you. So, if you take out any one of those parts, the other 2 parts become completely useless. And basically cannot be used unless you plan on shorting the power connectors every time you want to turn on your motherboard and using it only in a test bench, because it probably won't work in a normal case. It may be a standard form factor, being like extra micro ATX, thick micro ATX, that's what we're calling it. And in terms of like actual ability to upgrade, let's say for some reason you wanted to use SLI on this board. Because, I don't know, you had an extra 1080. You bought this build, you're like, I have a 1080 for my old build. Because I'm stupid and dumb and I hate myself and I buy Alienware PCs. You can't even. Because if I tried to insert Dell's, this is the original 1080 that came in it, garbage blower style that literally has like loose parts all over it, and they didn't even peel the plastic that might not supposed to be peeled, but let's peel it together. Beautiful. Flimsy ass card. You can't even, how do I install a graphics card? There we go. You couldn't even install it in the bottom slot because it would interfere with the wires. I don't know why I'm showing you. You can see with your eyes that it would interfere. I don't know how this angle is, but it's probably bad. Now, the only thing cool about this is the motherboard it's blue, and it's got a cool little alien on it. Besides that, it's entirely useless. And I don't even know why they put the alien on it if you can't even see it. Because it doesn't even have glass on it. It's just a fancy looking case. And that was my review of this Alienware PC. This is the R7. It's pretty bad for the money. I mean, if you're expecting me to run, some benchmarks, it's an 8700 and a GTX 1080. That performs slightly worse than a normal 8700 and GTX 1080 because it's a blower style cooler GTX 1080 and an 8700 with some random stock cooler and like no airflow. But that's really it. Like you're paying more money for this than you're paying more money than the parts are worth. You're paying more money than the parts are worth in a pre-built. That's what you get with Alienware with this PC. I don't know how the new ones are. I think they're charging like $4,000 for a 2080 Ti, which makes no goddamn sense. But that's really it. I bought this for no reason. And it was a waste of money. Because for the same price that one could pick up this PC, you could buy about 400 Subway footlongs. That's a lot.